Welcome to Guns, Gear, and Guns with Gary Gunderson. I am Gary Gunderson. Today I have a Palmetto State Armory Dagger Compact. I purchased this frame and the complete slide separate from each other, but altogether this came in under $300, which I think is a pretty good deal for a complete pistol and a Glock 19 clone. This was sold as a blim for $60 and had free shipping when I ordered it, and there's still more of these available on the site as of time of this recording. And looking over it carefully, I am not 100% certain what the blim part is supposed to be. The only thing I could find is that on the very end here, there's just a little bit of extra stuff hanging off that can come off, but even that's so minimal. And honestly, I usually purchase blim firearms whenever I have a chance, if I'm purchasing something new or newer, because if it's a firearm, you're going to use it anyway, or at least I use all my firearms, so who cares if it has a few blemishes on it, because it's going to get some as you use it. So the slide I purchased is cut for an RMR red dot, which I don't have any on a pistol, so that will be interesting. And first impressions about this firearm. So the grip texture is really nice. I like the grip texture. And it has this little bump to push your finger up under the trigger, and this little cutout here, which is nice. But on my hand, my pinky wants to naturally rest right on where the magwell flares out a bit. So this is where I kind of want to naturally rest it, but that's uncomfortable. So I usually squish up, but I have noticed sometimes in just messing with it, I will also drop it below, which also can be an issue when you're talking about magazine retention if you try to drop the magazine if my pinky's down there. But that's obviously part of a training issue and not a big deal. But if take, for instance, my Polymer 80 pistol, you can see how much more comfortable my hand is. It's not scrunched up as much. And obviously these are different manufacturers, different firearms, but that's just something to notice. I do wish it was just a little bit longer, or maybe they're a little bit less of a flare at the front there. But I'm sure other people like that flare. I know other people's hands, it fits fine. Glove size, I'm usually between a large and extra large, so take that as what you will if you're looking at purchasing these, because I had never seen one of these in store to actually pick one up and handle. Another thing people may not like is this hinge trigger. But I haven't had any issues with it. The Polymer 80 kit I assembled has the typical little dongle, and honestly, I don't really care either way. I'm not a huge trigger snob, I guess, but maybe that's just me, I guess. It's fine. I don't have any issues with it. I know some people don't like this hinge portion, but I don't see any problems. One thing I do notice handling this right away is that the magazine catch is a lot stiffer than the Polymer 80. And so obviously right hand, it's easy, but being a left-hander, also just with the real estate on this side, it's a little harder for me to do it and keep my thumb out of the way. Once again, more of a training issue than anything, but it's something I've noticed in handling it and trying to manipulate it. See, my thumb naturally is blocking it. So that's something I'll have to be aware of and train around. But it has gotten a little bit looser, I think. Comparing it to this Polymer 80 again, because I don't have an actual Glock, I mean, this is a lot smoother and a lot easier to release the mag, even with my left hand. Also, there's not the crowding issue, so it's not as bad, at least in my opinion, being a left-hander and having the size hands I do. So slide is nice. You have the cuts at the front and the rear. Obviously the RMR cut, and it does have a plate that I can put in if I don't have an RMR, which I don't right now. I'm still searching to see what one I do want to try out on this, because I will be getting one for fun. I mean, maybe I'll end up carrying this, but I'll have to do pretty well, and I'll have to like it a lot for me to replace my standard high power, which is my current carry pistol. But I want to get something different and something modern. This is the first polymer pistol I have that's not the P80 that I built. So that's something kind of interesting. Like I said, my biggest issue is right now the magazine release. It's just awkward with the size and shape and placement. But other than that, it feels really solid. It has a good lockup. Everything works really well. The version I got also had this threaded barrel. So obviously there's potential there. Looking for this as a potential carry, I'm not crazy about it, but just the slides they were offering with the cut all had this, which I get, but at the same time, honestly, I wouldn't have really cared if it didn't have this, or I would have bought one maybe another $10, $20 less if it was just a standard barrel, because the threaded part is kind of irrelevant for me as far as the carry portion goes. I do know there are some holsters that are designed around this that even mention the threaded barrel, so at least there's some aftermarket options for this. It takes the standard P-mags or Glock mags, of course, and disassembly is the exact same as a Glock. But this is a pretty nice little pistol, and for getting in under 300 right now is pretty good. Needless to say, probably, I bought this with my own money. I have no association with Palmetto State Armory other than I've purchased some of their other products before. And this is obviously just a first impression. I haven't had a chance to take this out and shoot yet. But I will be sure to update after I get some rounds through this and let you know what I think. But what do you think about the daggers? Do you have any experience with these? Do you like any specific models over any others? Because now they have several. This initially I think was just the Dagger. Now they call it the Dagger Compact because they have the Dagger full size. And I think there's a third model as well at this point. Let me know if you have any experience with these and what you think of them. Let me know in the comments down below if there's anything else you're interested in me purchasing and trying out. Join the public Discord, support me on Patreon, and be sure to support the channel by also liking this video, sharing it, and subscribing if you aren't already to get more content. Thanks for watching.